Hello, everybody. A lot of things happening. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon, and welcome to one uh, new podcast, the second episode. Today with Johanna Vermöhlen. It was almost. It was almost. A player that's from the Falconets. Falconets. I don't remember. Yeah,
Yes, yeah, right.
okay, she will correct me for sure whenever I say something wrong. Welcome. We will today to be me and her. Um, Meet could not do it today. Oh, but we for sure will have a good time, and we will basically will be talking about her life as a football player in the a men's world, a men's game, and how much she fights, works for it, and everything. So I think it's gonna be a really nice podcast. So do you want to start introducing yourself? Oh wait, just before you introduce yourself, just let me explain a bit our podcast for people that don't know. So we have the possibility for people that are watching us to join the Discord and talk with Johanna and with me, and ask whatever you want to would or like to know about her or about her journey until this moment. Just join the Discord. You can put exclamation point Discord, and the bot will write the link there. You join the Discord, and then you can just go to the waiting room. I'll pick you up, and you just talk with her directly. I think it's a nice opportunity. So Joanna, yeah, it's hard because in Portuguese I will read Joanna. So Joanna, do you want to introduce yourself a bit, tell a bit
Yes,
about your
sir.
story?
Yes, sir. My name is Johanna. I'm 24 years old. I started playing football when I was 17. So that's 7 years ago. I started playing linebacker and safety mostly. Actually started playing on a very small team. We played 5-on-5 tackle football. Just because we're not living in a big city over here, and it's hard to get new girls team.
Yeah.
And 2 years ago, I changed the team. I started playing for the Cologne Falconets. Also made a change on my position, so now I'm playing running back. Um,
So no more
yeah,
defense.
no, like I can help out when they need somebody on defense, but mostly I'm going with the running back position.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. And yeah, so basically, I told you that I didn't have a surprise, but the fact is, I kind of do. And I wanted to do it live because I think it will be more interesting. It's probably coming up eventually. And here we go. Hello, hello. Our co-host for
You.
today. Our co-host for today. It's off. It's Mr. Patrick Donahue. Oops, sorry, she disappeared.
Still
So
there.
you disappeared, but uh, Joanna, here's your surprise. Mr. Patrick is my surprise to you. What?
It's a nice surprise. How are you doing?
It, it's a nice surprise. Oh, you should be more. Oh yeah, amazing.
I mean, he's not new. Like I know him, so it's cool to see him actually. But I can hear him. What's wrong?
Patrick, yes.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah, there you
Amen.
go.
Amen.
Yeah, so today Meet was not able to come, so I asked the prestigious um, Patrick, especially because it was him that suggested Joanna, and I think it would make a lot of sense, and because he's a person that everybody knows and respects. So I think it's a nice course to have, and I'm really happy that he accepted my invitation. So here you go. So Patrick, how you doing? I already talked with you, but how you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm trying to figure this out, but
Yeah,
having a
you.
little
It's
trouble with
okay.
the
Everything is
video.
okay.
Um, but I'm just happy to see Johanna on there getting
Mhm.
her flowers now,
You're
you know,
much
'cause
appreciated.
Getting her flowers on. It was what you said.
yeah, I mean, getting her flowers before she nobody noticed all the hard work that she's doing and putting in. That's it's really important, that everybody knows and sees, what she does. I mean, you mind if I ask you a few questions, Johanna, so everybody can understand what you do?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Okay. First off, how often do you drive to go to practice and coaching and stuff like that? How many kilometers do you drive per day for football, for this dream that you have, for this passion that you have?
Oh man, it's a lot. It depends and it changes all the time. When I drive to Cologne to practice, it's an 1 hour drive. It's 100 kilometers, one drive. We practice 2 times a week. Sometimes when I have the time and Coach Glenn, shout out to Coach Glenn, um, I drive like a third time to Cologne. I also practice, coach. So when I drive to practice to Nijmegen in the Netherlands, that's, I don't know, like 35, 40 minutes.
You practice in
Um,
Netherlands.
no, I'm coaching there. I'm not practicing. I'm coaching there.
Oh, you
I
coach
studied,
in the Netherlands team, but it's a men's team, right?
yes, it's a guys' team. The head coach is a friend of mine. And this year he came up and he shoot me a message, was like, yo, I need a running back coach. Like, I want you to do that. And I was like, yo, yeah, why not? Okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
And that's how I got into coaching. I tried to prepare myself as best as I could. Like, there's so much stuff on YouTube. What helps a lot. You can look up drills. You can study pass concepts and all that kind of shit. And I'm learning a lot from YouTube actually. So that's what I do.
Patrick, I'm sorry, but you turn on the Discord, and now your image is frozen on. You cannot have. I'm sorry, but she can see you because of the share screen. Uh, just turn off on Discord and turn it on Skype.
Okay.
A lot of things happening, and so you didn't have any coaching
Experience.
experience exactly before. You just said, "Oh, I need a running back coach. Can you come to Netherlands and coach my guys' team?" Because I mean, that's for sure already fucking hard. Because men with men, it's hard, and a woman trying to coach grown ass men must be a fight.
It's okay. I think I was lucky with the team. We have super cool guys on the team. Um, and I think as a coach, you have to prove yourself anyway.
Yeah,
Like there are a lot of good and bad coaches, regardless of gender.
yeah.
You probably have to prove yourself a little bit more as a woman than you have, or as I would have to do it if I was a guy. But it's okay. We get along pretty well with each other, and I would say, like, I hope they wouldn't correct me, that um, it works and it works really well. And I got into the team real quick, and I actually didn't have problems
And
with coaching
what is the name
coaching the
of the
guys.
team?
Nijmegen Pirates.
Nightmare Pirates.
Nijmegen.
Ah,
That's the
Nijmegen. Okay. Pirates.
Which would you say, Johanna, that I honestly I would say that you've proven yourself off the field and on the field with your dedication to the sport. You know what I mean?
True.
How often do you train? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You train more than some guys that I know, some American football players that I know.
Yeah, you.
You
I
know,
am. I don't know how much you
Uh,
train, but I'm pretty sure you train way more than I did when I played.
right now, I mean, it's off season, right? And so I'm driving to Cologne once a week and hitting the gym 4 times a week. Getting up early, do it before the work. So at 6 a.m. I at the gym, work out, take a shower, and drive straight to work.
Okay, so
Um,
do you want to say a bit of your schedule so we can understand like what is a normal day for you? It's like the thing is that oh shit, my microphone fell. So the thing is there's two people. One of them knows you pretty well. That is Patrick, and there's another that is me. That is most of people that don't know you, and this kind of that's why this program or I want this program to exist is for people like you to be recognized by other people, and so I want to know what is your schedule. Why does Patrick sees you as an amazing player? What makes you an amazing player? I don't want you to answer what makes you an amazing player. I want you to explain like what is your schedule more or less. You don't have to tell me exactly the hours, okay? But more or less, what is a schedule of your a week of your
yeah.
life?
So
Okay,
right
let's do
now,
that.
like I said, it's off season. So I um, rescheduled everything a little bit. So like I said, I get up um, early before, so I can hit the gym before work. Get up 5:30, be at the gym at 6. Hit the gym, take a shower, go to work, and after that it depends on. Right now there's no practice in the Netherlands, so um,
Let's
just
guess.
sorry.
Let's guess. So there's no practice on the Netherlands, so you spend less
No,
guess.
no, we have um, first it's like a winter break,
Yeah.
and also because of the COVID restrictions over there, it's we're not allowed to practice.
Okay. Uh,
okay.
Yeah. So what I do after work is I'm doing yoga, extra stretching to avoid injuries. Cooking. I changed my nutrition. I'm eating vegetarian right now. It goes pretty well for me.
okay.
Doesn't mean that everybody has to do it, but for me it works. That's my way.
But
So I'm cooking a lot.
do you think being a vegetarian it's because what people most of people think is that vegetarian doesn't give you enough of nutrients to be able to perform. Uh,
So, I mean, what I learned is that all the proteins, for example, you get from the meat, the animals don't produce themselves. So they have to eat and take these proteins with their food. So why not eating this food directly instead of eating the animal? And what actually happened is that I started thinking about my nutrition. Like
mhm,
I'm way more aware of what I eat than I was before.
mhm.
And this helped me a lot, eating healthier and just being aware of what I eat.
Yeah. I don't want to go for the fight between a vegetarian or non-vegetarian. It was mostly in terms of the game part. But yeah, and but this is during the off season, and normally during the season, how is because the season is the same in the girls as is in the Netherlands or not?
No, actually not. The season starts a little bit earlier,
Which one?
end of February usually.
Okay.
But due to COVID, it was all a little bit different. I think everybody can understand that. But yeah, when it's during the season, I'm going to the gym 2, 3 times a week, practice in the evening, and yeah, it just the focus is a little bit different. Right now, during the off season, my focus is more on the gym.
Yeah.
Um,
How it should be.
and
You do it how it should be then.
exactly, preparing for the upcoming season.
Yeah.
Like I want to dominate on the field, so you got to prepare for that.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question, Johanna? So how important is rest as well as gym sessions? How do they go hand in hand? How important
And
are
how
they?
you manage it.
Like to rest, I have to admit, but I know that it's important. What I do, I try to get as much sleep as I can, 7 to 8 hours per night, because that's what works for me the most. But I'll have a rest day where I do nothing, maybe some yoga or some stretching, but no sport at all. Give my body the rest and be able to perform on and off the field other days.
Okay.
You are so
Thank you
professional.
for that very detailed answer. I appreciate
Yeah.
that. But can I ask, I know I'm taking over. I feel like I'm taking over this is my first time doing this. When you asked me, I was like, okay, cool.
No,
I've never
no,
done this
man.
before.
Just do,
Um,
do, do, and ask. Literally every question I asked, it was because I wanted to know the answer. It was not because of the viewers or whatever. I really wanted to know. It was not. So if you want, man, go for
I,
it.
okay, Johanna, what message do you have for other women that are playing the sport, or other women or young girls that are playing flaggy right now or want to play flaggy? Like, what do you have to say to them, or young girls and boys? It doesn't matter, but young women that are looking up to you. You know what I mean? What do you have to say? What's your message to them? You know?
Just try it. For me, obviously, football is the best sport in the world. Gives me and gave me so much. I learned so much about myself. It helped me with personal growth and build up my self confidence. Like I was super shy when I was a little girl, and
I don't believe it, but go ahead.
so football helped me build up that self confidence and believing in myself and believing that I'm strong and pretty and that I can do everything that I put my mind into. And it changed my entire world and it opens up a completely new world to me. Like I met so many cool people because of football or thanks to football. It's not only in my club, but also other clubs all over Germany and even in different countries. Like I know people from England, the Netherlands, obviously from the States, and you
From
get
Portugal.
connected with these people. Sorry?
From Portugal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
obviously. But that's so cool. Like you meet so many different people and you can learn so much when you stay open minded and that's what's football to me. Like it's getting connected with other players and you're you're connected with the passion you have for the same sport.
Yeah, I kind of sorry. I kind of understand it. In fact, when I had my podcast with Patrick, there was a person in the call, and that person was. It was funny because Patrick asked him. He did the question to Patrick, and then Patrick asked him, "What does football means to you?" And he said, "Well, football is where I met Ricardo. That is me." The guy that called him was it's gonna be my best man at my wedding, and he played with me, and he was like the receiver next to me, and in the field we probably would not, we were not even that close, but then for some reason we start like going out together, like being together, and I don't remember when it started. It just clicked, and it's like I think that's a bit what football does. It's like people that you probably never in your life will think about like hanging out. It just connects because of the commitment that you have to do through football, and like in the field, it's like in Portugal we used to say something. If I will go to war, I'll go to the people that I played with.
Yep.
and that
I totally understand that.
and I played basketball at the gymnastics. I play handball, and I can tell you that in all the other sports, football it was the one that I felt that the most. I would do it easily, and I would not even blink. Yeah, but I think
It's kind of a war when you're on the field, right? Like you fight, you compete, and you want to win. Like it doesn't matter who's standing in front of you. Like you want to beat that person.
yeah, but one can live without the other. That's the cool part in
Exactly.
football. In basketball, you can pick up the ball and you can score. Or but in football, you can never pick up the ball and just score. You have to have an O line. You have to have a quarterback. You have to have a receiver because you won't be able to do it alone. That never happens. And
Exactly.
that's something that maybe people that are outside they don't see it. That's why people that are inside they praise so much the O line. Nobody gives a shit about O line, but people that play the
I
game.
care about O-line. Don't say
Me too.
nobody.
Me
I
No, no,
care
too.
no,
about
no. I'm
O-line.
saying people that are outside of the game. People that are outside of the game, they don't care about O line, but when they start to understand the game, they say, "Oh my God, these guys are the most important people in the whole game." It's like how can
Yeah.
nobody give them attention? It's like how is that
Yeah.
possible? But yes, okay,
Yeah.
I'm driving out. Okay, sorry, Patrick, you had another question.
No, I appreciate your answer and thank you for adding on to that. Football's very special. You know, it does special things to people and it makes you realize, you know, a lot about yourself. So what would you say to what would you say to the girl that's wants to play football, but she, you know, it has to put you like in front of everybody. You know what I mean? Like not many girls want to go out there and play football, and then like everybody's like, "What's the you know you're one in a million playing an American football sport when you get up to the point like flaggies. I only see maybe three, four girls on the younger teams. So what would you say to the girl that wants to try out?
Can I just can I just add something to the question? Um,
Yeah.
I think. What would you say to your younger self?
That's a good
Yeah.
one.
That's
Um,
a good one.
so what I would say to younger girls in general is nobody can hold you back but yourself. So just do it. We said most of the things that hold us back is in our head. So if you want to play, go and play. Um, and that's actually what I would say to my younger self. Like, just do it. Um, you'll be surprised how much you can do when you just start and give it a try.
Yeah.
Nice. We got a Nike sponsorship in here somewhere? No?
Yeah. Just do it exactly. I think she's trying to just trying to get that sponsorship. Uh, and what would you say to yourself? Because what I figured out, what I understood is that you said that what you say to younger girls, but you driven from the question, what do you say to yourself, your younger
So
self?
she
It's basically the same. You
What would
can
change
do
then?
anything. You can do anything you put your mind into. Just believe in yourself.
Okay.
It's like, especially as a girl in football, not everybody likes that. Not everybody likes the idea that you play a man sport. Um, I had coaches telling me, why you put in so much work? Like you're not gonna make it to the NFL. What's complete bullshit. Like I'm not doing it to
Well,
make it to the NFL. I'm doing this because I love this sport and I want to be the best player I can be, and I want to dominate and compete. And it has nothing to do with making it to the NFL.
and do you think
no.
you are doing that right now?
Making it to the NFL?
Yes, that was exactly my question. No, dominating.
Yeah, I would say
I'm gonna answer that for you. Yeah, she is.
Yeah,
Like
but I wanted to know. I wanted to know. So we have a question here from. By the way, I'm sorry, Enrique. We are streaming on YouTube and on Twitch, And Henrique said greetings from Brazil. He's seeing from Brazil, and he was really looking forward to hear the story of an American football player, the girl, and how is her life. And we have a question saying, "How did football change your life?"
Football changed my life a lot. Like everything in my life right now is about football. Like I didn't take a job because it wouldn't schedule my football schedule. Like
Yeah,
um, there's no day without football for me. I meet or all friends I have right now have something to do with football. And ball is number one, like family first, but after that, it's football. And um, whenever I can learn something, I'm gonna do it. Is it in football wise, or for my mental or personal growth? It's it's crazy how football changed my life.
yeah, but you said an overall answer. I want to hear a bit of a concrete answer. So you said what would change for you that will never change for me or for Patrick, for example. What do you think that it was special on your life that you changed your life, or even when was that moment that you realize, okay, my life is never gonna be the same?
I actually fell in love the first practice. Like I don't believe in love at the first sight, but like with
Only
football, it
unicorns.
was
You
kind
don't
of like
believe on
that.
love on first sight. Only on unicorns.
But with football, it was kind of like that. Like first practice, I knew, okay, I'm gonna love that. Um, I think the biggest change for me was actually how I think about myself. Um, like I said, I was shy when I was a little girl, and even when I started playing football. But it turned out that I'm pretty good at football, and that gave me the self confidence. Like, okay, if I can do it in football, I can do it everywhere. Is it work or any kind of relationship with friends or whatever?
Hmm.
So I would say self confidence is probably the biggest point.
Confidence.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Offense. Awesome.
that is in fact true. I feel I can relate to it. How about you, Patrick? When did it was your first love for the game?
This isn't about me, but
I know, but
this
for
is not
sure,
about me.
Johanna will not say no to that question, also, right?
Uh, I
I didn't hear
honestly,
her answer.
I I can relate to Johanna, in the sense that it gives you confidence, to when you first start. I started playing football for all the wrong reasons. You know what I mean? I started
Girls,
playing just to prove people wrong that I was tough. You know what I mean? So but look where we are now. I would have
exactly.
never met Johanna. I would have never met you, Ricardo. Like
Yeah,
I wouldn't have met a lot of the people I know now. Um, so football has changed my life because it took me out the hood. Like I was, Lord have mercy. I was fighting every day. Like, you know what I mean? And it took me out of the hood and it took me to Germany and now I'm here, learn a different language. Talk about changing life. Like Johanna's English, I'm for certain like her English has gotten 10,000 times better. She says words that I haven't even said in the longest time. Her vocabulary is pretty is pretty advanced, you know.
that is.
And my German, I never thought in a million years I'd be speaking German and teaching English in a German class. Never in a million years. So that's how it changed my life. I'm 5,000 miles away from home. That's how it changed my life. And her English is amazing. If anybody needs English lessons, come to her. She
Yeah,
is the best in the business.
yeah. But I think we should change my program from for today for motivational. We are really motivational today because two of the most motivational speakers I know, or I don't talk with that much motivational speakers, but Patrick is for sure one person that is motivating me as hell, and every time I talked to Johanna, she was like always the motivation was up high. Every time I had to always say, "Oh well, chill your face. I don't need motivation."
Who's gonna do that when you don't motivate yourself? Like you gotta be your biggest supporter. Because when nobody's around, like you, it's just you.
Mine is
And
just my mom. My mom is my biggest supporter.
That's
be like you have to believe in yourself first because before somebody else can do it, and that's what I do. I believe in myself. I believe that I can do it. And what Pat said, like I proved everybody wrong. I see it in a different way. Like I proved myself right because it's not about other persons. It's about me.
I have a question. What is the game that you have most in your mind for good or bad reasons? Doesn't matter. I want to know what is the game that you have mostly in your mind. That there's always that game that you cannot get through it for the good or for the bad. What is that and why?
That's a bad one. I made it to the Green Machine in 2018. It's like a state team, and
A
it
green
was a
machine
great
is a
experience.
state
But
championship.
um,
What is a green
sorry,
machine? What is a green machine?
it's like a state team. We have like different states in Germany, and the
Oh,
Green Machine is a state team of my state.
okay. So
Um,
it's like a national team of your state.
yeah,
Okay,
basically.
okay.
And it was a great experience. Actually, took us almost 2 years to finally have a game. But when we had that game, I messed it up. Like that was the worst game I've ever played. I was came from 5-on-5 tackle football to 11-on-11. That was a big change, but that game almost broke me. Like it took me like 2 days to get over that. That was tough, but yeah, like I
But
missed
why?
tackle. I was playing defense. And I missed tackles. I was doing bad reads. Just it was the worst game I've ever played.
Okay, and probably the last.
For a Wii Machine, I don't think so.
No, 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 the last worst game.
the last worst game.
Yes.
You never know.
No,
There
until
can always
now. Come
be
on, I'm not asking you in
until
the
now, yeah.
future. I don't know.
Until now for sure.
Yes,
Like I said,
okay.
the worst game I've ever played. But you never know what's gonna happen, right? So you gotta be prepared
Yeah, but I
for
cannot. I
a game
cannot.
that's even.
I can't also ask you what's gonna happen because you also don't know. So that's a bit redundant. Okay. Anyway, I'm sorry. Patrick, you can intervene, man. You whenever you have something to say, you just say it, man. Even if it's on top of me, just say it. It's okay. I will shut up.
No. I just think something that not a lot of people have is the passion that Johanna has, and that in turn makes you very tough on yourself. You are your biggest critic when it comes to that stuff. You know, I it's that's just how she is. So like I could do better. Like she could have 200 yards in the game, and she'll remember the time she got stopped for 2 yards, minus 2 yards. You know what I mean? That's the type of person Johanna is. So that's what that's what champions are made of. You know what I mean? They always think that they can do
Mm.
better, and um, but at the end of the day, they know that it could also be worse, right? So Johanna does a good job of being her own self motivator. So that's really awesome to see. And Johanna actually invited me up to do a little camp at I say Nimingen Pirates, but I know I'm so wrong
It's
now.
Birmingham.
Um, up there in the Netherlands. Can you say the name
Oh
again,
no.
Johanna, please?
Nijmegen Pirates.
Again?
Again.
Man, what if I pronounce them like?
No, no, it's
Pirates.
the internet. The problem right now is the internet. It's not that we are not understanding you literally. It's the internet. It's making it blurry.
So it's
No.
Nijmegen Pirates.
Nijmegen Pirates. Okay, cool. So we did a camp there, and I was able to, you know, she is the ultimate recruiter. She brought she had people from everywhere. There was at least, I want to say 15 women there, wanting to learn, and were hungry for it, and were getting after it. You know what I mean? There were some of them were, like jacked, and like, biceps and everything. Like, I was like, whoa, like this is the people Johanna hangs out with and trains with. So she's very serious about what she does. And so it was just awesome to see that kind of
Commitment.
dedication
Oh.
for a sport that's relatively new to Europe. So like it's just amazing to see.
And in
Um,
girls.
It was actually
so
super cool. Like we had a receiver camp we planned, and we had it was a mixed camp, so boys and girls, and it was so crazy. Like we had like at the beginning, I heard English and German and Dutch and Spanish. Like it was crazy. They came from everywhere, and I had some friends who came over and helped me out with the coaching next to Pat, and yeah, everything we earned basically we gave to the club. So that's shout out to Pat for doing that and coming over
Yeah.
and helping me with the camp. Was actually it was like a test camp for the PBA, the Pebred Academy.
Yeah.
That
And
that was pretty cool.
but in fact, since you touched that subject, that's something that I think is pretty cool in Europe, is that when there's a camp like around the center of Europe, you can see so much nationalities. I had a guy that went to the Vienna Vikings to do the tryouts to try out for the Vikings, a Portuguese guy, and first of all, you can see Portuguese guy trying out in Vienna, in Vienna for the Vikings. It's already strange because Portuguese football is not that big, and second of all, there was so many people. There was Italian, Croatian, Slovenian, Austrians, obviously Germans. There were so many people from so many places, and it's amazing to see like the community of football. It's so big, and I think, and that's why I want to do a bit of this program. It's to bring like the community together and have a platform for the people to be able to be known, or to know how to, or to be able, you always have that thing, I don't know how to reach further, and this platform is a little bit for that. It's opportunity to know how to reach further. For example, this Portuguese guy, I had a guy that was playing in the Dragons, in the Barcelona Dragons, and he came to my podcast. And this Portuguese guy went to the chat to talk to him to know what should he do to reach further. And the advice that he gave him now is going to play for the Vienna Vikings. The Portuguese guy now is going to play for the Vienna Vikings, and I think people just need to. It's what also Johanna was saying. Just go for it. It's like just try it and give it your all. Okay, we were starting to get too emotional.
yeah,
Um,
I have a question if I can just interject for a second.
yeah, of course.
Um, what Johanna, I just know you have so much let's just say like you got moxie, you know what I mean? Like you got moxie. And moxie is like you got a lot of knowledge to give and pass out because you've been on both sides of it. You've been in both locker rooms. You know what I mean? You've coached, played and coached at the same time. Um, so like what is your message that you coach or you bring, like you coach or you play, like what is your message that you tell players if you were personally training somebody? What's the message you give, like when people come in contact with you? What message do you want them to leave with? You know what I mean? Does that make sense? If I explained it right? I mean, when people come in contact with me, or I let them know, like, okay, I tell them all the time, like, look, I value honesty. You know what I mean? I value being like people being real. I value that. You know what I mean? And when I train people, or I coach, or I'm on a team, I want them to generally know that I genuinely care about them. So like they'll know, like, oh, you know what I mean? that's, it's bigger than football. That's what I make sure that people know when they come in contact with me. It's bigger than football. Part of the reason why I kept my promise to come up there to the Netherlands, and not be a typical American and be like, oh, I can't do it. Plans came up.
I don't think that's being American, by the way. I think that's just being a person.
Yeah, I'm just, yeah,
Okay. In
just,
America, it
yeah,
happens
you're
more
right.
often. Well, I don't know. I don't know many Americans, and the Americans I know, I don't. Yeah, some of them, yes. Okay, but I
Yeah,
also
sorry. It's a saying they have out here in Germany. Like, you know what I mean? I've been out here too long, I guess.
When it comes to this, I'm super German. Like we set up a date like in a year, and I'm gonna be there. Like
yeah. I think
so,
me and Pat already are feeling that we are German already in that matter. I'm not German. I'm Austrian in that matter.
to come back to your question, I would say um, it's always important that people understand why are they doing it. Like as a coach, I want them to understand why we doing this, um, because everybody can set up a drill and say, "Yo, do this." Why? Because that's a drill. That's bullshit. When you understand why you're doing something, you'll be able to actually use this. Um,
Okay.
it's I mean football is it's like a toolbox, and you can add different tools to this toolbox, but you are the one who has to decide what am I using, and that's what makes a good player and a good coach when you understand what skills you have and in which situation you can use it. Then you're able to adjust to the game because whoever has the pencil is gonna win, right? So when you make a playbook and you go through the different plays, this is gonna work because you have the pencil, right? But
Hmm.
football is different. Like you have so many different situations you can prepare your players for, and when you're able to make them understand why are they doing this or that, they're going to be able to adjust to this, and they will be able to be a good player.
Awesome. So be coachable and know why you do stuff and know like what's your why, like, you know what I mean? So make sure you're retaining all the information, and the coaches give you the tools, and it's up to you to decide how to use them and when to use them. That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah, I did coaching also once, and my biggest problem was for players not believing what I was saying. You know what I mean? It was more like I would say when you do the route, it was receivers, okay? And when I say when you do the route, just don't break in that moment, break before. So then when you do the route and you can go wherever you want to go, and the corner
Exactly.
and the corner doesn't know where you are going, because if you are doing a post and you don't stop, then it's not going to be hard for a corner to figure out, okay, it's not stopping, so it's going to be a post or a fly or a go. I don't know the route,
Yeah.
and uh, and most of the times they will not do it. So they would say, "Oh, how am I always covered?" I'm like, "Man, you are literally saying to the corner what you are doing. I already told you to not do it." So what is I'm so the question would be first of all, if that happened, or if players are just believe you blindly. That I don't believe that happens. But do players believe you blindly, or do they or what is how do you deal with it? How do you deal with somebody not believing on what you're saying?
It's actually tough. I was lucky that I didn't have this situation yet. But I think, like I said, it's important to make the players understand why you're doing something. And sometimes they need more time, so you got to take that time and maybe even off the field, like talk to them. And you have to create a connection to the players because that's how you make them trust you. It's
Yeah.
not only on the field, but especially off the field. And you gotta understand your players, and you have to adjust your coaching to the players because not everybody is the same. So you have to adjust your coaching as well.
You know what was the most frustrating thing? I had four receivers, okay? One of them was a tight end, and the tight end was so freaking bad. And I put my receivers that all of them trusted me blindly. And the three of them trusted me blindly. And they were doing everything that I was saying. And there was a tight end that was so fucking bad. And I put them catching balls with tennis balls,
I hope he's
okay?
not listening.
With tennis balls, and this was the practice only. Get tennis balls and just passing to each other, and that was just to do the catching using the fingers to catch the ball because he was always like catching the ball like a goalkeeper, and I was like to use the fingers with tennis balls, and the guy was so bored, and he was like doing the exercise, and I was like, what the fuck? I'm doing this exercise only for you because the other guys can catch the ball in the fucking in jumping and falling and whatever, and I'm doing this exercise for you when you are the one that is giving the most shit about it. And that is so frustrating because what do you do in these situations? It's like you fuck yourself and go out. No, you cannot do that. I mean, can you?
You can, but it wouldn't be smart. I
Yeah.
Yeah.
think it's important to understand uh, why is your player acting like that.
Yeah, because he thinks
Because
he's good. What do you do
uh,
when a person, a player thinks he's good and he's not? Just bitch slap.
you can't do
Can,
that.
can I interject?
Of course you can.
Okay. Um, Sometimes you have players that, that's when you do what Johanna says and you pull the player aside and say, "Hey, man, what's going on? What is it? What is it?" You never know. They could be having a bad day. They could something happen at home. Like as coaches, we're not just there for them to coach them football. We're still there to teach them lessons about life.
Yeah,
Because life is bigger than just football. You know what I mean? Off the field. Because once we leave that field, you know what I mean? We're still human. Now, if that you got to have that talk with that player and say, hey, look, you need to like I'm teaching these things. Whether you do them or not is up to you. Um, you're gonna have those players. I enjoy having. I have a few players that I had to coach this past year. One was Moritz, and the other one was Luke. And I hope they watch this. um Boris is just he's just a shit talker, and it was cool though. Like that's how we formed our bond. You know. Now Luke is what do they call it? Like he's a smart ass. You know what I
yeah.
mean? He knows it all. You know. So, but he still had once he got out of that, like I'm gonna do it my way until it doesn't work, and then he sees other people doing it well,
The
he's
way that you
saying I'm going to
teach.
do it. He's going to do it his way until it doesn't work. And it was great to see the progress throughout the year.
Yeah,
Um, but with players like your tight end, you just got to love those players and never switch up on them. If you do not change on them, they're going to respect you more than if you just say, okay, I'm going to stop coaching him and whatever. That's the biggest thing is players probably used to that, coaches giving up on
yeah,
them, you know what I mean? And they're used to that. I told Moritz the other day, I said, it was a pleasure coaching you and playing with you, and thank you for everything you did for me and the team. And he told me that's the first time anybody's ever thanked me for being a part of the team and doing the sacrifices that I did. And it made me realize like coaches, you gotta just appreciate your players, uh, like if anything like they're your cousins or family. You know what I mean? Like so that's just my little story, my little tidbit. But
yeah. I
Johanna
think
is
I think it's nice. Um, so let's go a bit back to Johanna the player. It was we got to know Johanna the coach, but as a Johanna the player, do you want to tell us what was your first experience as the first practice?
And I was super excited actually. Um, going to practice. Like I had a friend who played for the guys team of the same club,
Mm-hmm.
and he tried to convince me to go to practice for 2 weeks straight. And I was looking for some excuses not to go. And when I finally made it to practice, we didn't even have much contact or something like that. But I fell in love with the sport immediately. It was crazy.
But tell me just
Um,
how much do you height? What is your height?
I'm 172.
172. Okay, I thought you were like 160 or 150, but okay,
I'm a little bit tall.
you are not that small.
And I'm actually waiting more than I look.
Okay, but I was meaning the height. Um, but were you kind of afraid, or the only thing is that you already it's the second time that you talk about your first practice, and I still didn't figure out what made you fall in love with it, with the game. I still you said it was amazing that you got super excited and that you end up the practice super happy, but I didn't got it. I would like to know.
I think it was the challenge actually. Like I like the challenge. I like to compete, and I tried a lot of different sports, but football is different when it comes to competing and to challenge yourself. It's like I challenge myself every single time I step on the field, and that's what I felt the first practice. And yeah, I think that's what I fell in love with.
Okay, and what do your parents think about it?
Um, when I had my first um, bigger injury, my dad was like, "Yo, don't you want to go and dance or something like that?" And it became like a running gag actually. Like every single time I get injured, he's like, "Yeah, you still don't want to do dancing or shit like that."
Dancing. It's like yeah,
um,
just pass from American football to dancing. It's like almost the same.
exactly. But to be fair, like I gotta give credits to my parents. Like they always support me. They know about my love and passion for the game, and they would never try to um, take that away from me. Like they're my parents, so they care about my health and they're worried about me. But at the end of the day, they would always support me. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
But I have a question, and I will do the question, and then I will explain why I have this question. Do your parents see your games? I'm asking this question because my sister plays handball, okay? And my sister, she gets injured like every 3 games she gets injured, okay? Once she hit the post by sliding and she hit the head with the post with the head. Or because she's too skinny, she's always falling and she didn't break anything, but she's always all fucked up. So my mom my mom that can't see her games because it's someone in the floor that will be my sister, and my mom cannot see the games because of it. And I ask you the question: do your parents see your games? Both of them.
Yes, they do. Both of them. They actually watch most of my games. Um, Obviously, they don't like it when I get injured. Like the last game I had, I got injured and I was standing at the sideline, and my family was there, like 2 of my brothers, my parents, and they came down to the sideline. Yo, what's going on? And still supporting me, even though I wasn't able to keep on playing.
Okay.
But yeah, they support me. Like I said, doesn't matter what. Not only my parents, but also my brothers, and I'm
Your whole
lucky to
family.
have them. I'm blessed. Yeah, I'm blessed.
You have your a whole family support. That is pretty cool. Because yes.
Like my biggest brother's like, yo, she's playing football. Like, you better watch out.
Yeah. So yes, so you are the one protecting them. It's like, oh, don't hit me. My sister plays football. She can kick your ass.
Exactly. It's not like, yeah, I'm gonna get my three brothers. Like they coming to me like, yeah, he was mean.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Uh,
just kidding. But
yeah. I
yeah,
know. It's okay. You can. It doesn't matter. Um. So Patrick, we are at the end of our podcast. It's 1 hour, and Johanna complained that our last podcast it was too long. The podcast was too long, so we are not gonna make her be able. But now you understand why 1 hour and a half doing the podcast is not that much, because an hour just passed by and you don't even realize it. But do you have a final question for Johanna, Patrick?
Um, wow. I mean, I learned a lot about her just now. I mean,
Yeah.
about her mentality and stuff like that. Um, do you actually? I just what do you have any message for anybody? Like something you want to clip out and tell people, put on your Instagram? What do you got to say? Like, what do you have to say? What does Johanna, the person, the player, the legend, have to say?
I mean, this goes out especially to girls because I still feel like people, guys, don't think that we can do it, but we can. And I want every girl, every woman to just believe in yourself and believe that you can do it. And then you go out and you actually do it, and you're gonna be surprised what you can do, what you can reach. Just believe in yourself, go for it, and it doesn't have to be with football, but go follow your passion, and everything gonna work out at the end of the day.
That is
And how can they reach out to you? Can they reach out to you on Instagram and talk to them?
Yeah, sure,
Are you
sure.
gonna mentor them? Would you do that for them?
Can I do what for them?
Would you mentor them? Would they be able to ask you questions on Instagram and say, "Hey, how are you doing?" Like, "Hey,
Reach
I have
out,
questions for you."
reach out to me if you have any questions or if you just want to talk. No, like, I'll be happy. I would appreciate that.
yeah.
Awesome.
By the way, so you the ones people that hearing, it's under her image is her Instagram. So if people want to reach out to her, girls or guys, it's in the other side. Yes, girls or guys. Yeah, I had a question, but now after that answer, I don't want to ask my question anymore. Oh no, okay, I will
Aw.
ask it. I will ask it. No, because it's I mean it would end up in an amazing way. No, but I want to know what is your goal. You said it already, but like I think you said it like your. Um, I want to know your dream goal. It's
Dream goal.
yes, you have the goal where you know you can reach, and there's the other one that there's like 0.5% that you can reach, but it always exists.
I want to change the world.
Yes, and be Miss Germany 2024.
In Good question. That's a good question. Um,
I know you have the answer. Just say it.
I mean, it's like I said, I wanna change the world. I wanna um, bring focus to women's playing football because I think that would help a lot of girls.
Hmm.
I think that um, we have to make a change that we don't um, judge women for playing a woman's way. Usually, guys, or what I experience is guys say, "Oh, they play like a woman." Yeah, I am a woman. Like, let me
Yes.
play the game my way.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't expect me to play like a guy, so it's still football when I play it my way, and just respect and appreciate it that women can play football, and
Yes.
then that they can play it their way, and it doesn't matter because it's at the end of the day it's still football, and I want to make it change in how people, how guys especially think about that.
Okay, but still, that still looks really reachable.
It
Yeah,
is, and
I
I
agree.
will do it.
Yes, but I don't want that. I want after that.
After
Your
that,
your
yeah.
image. I'm sorry, but your image now is non-existent. Okay, there you go. I want after that. I want further than that.
That. Uh,
Come on, you can do it. Me and Patrick know that you have the answer. You are just afraid of saying it. Come on,
Yeah, I would like to
change the world.
give
Yes.
give women the opportunity to even play with guys. Like I know that um,
Yeah,
not a lot of guys gonna like that, and I know that not every woman's gonna be physically able to do that. But I truly believe that there are women out there who are able to compete with guys, and I would love um, to see that. And I mean, we see it in the States actually
you know,
that women are able to compete, and I would love to see the same over here in Germany and Europe. Um, that would be great.
you know what I would have to. First of all, thank you. Okay, we got it. That was nice. And second of all, about the physical part, it's not about being. Obviously, in football, you have to be more physic. Yes, you have to have the physic for it. But I can give you the example. I was like kind of one of the guys that thought, oh my god, it's not possible for a guy to compete against a girl. Although I always compete against my sister, but I always, but it was exactly that. I was stronger, so I was stronger, and I will be aggressive, and I will win because of it. But I had a basketball game against girls, and I got my ass so kicked. Oh my god! I can tell you that I could go to the I could do a layup every time. It honestly it will not matter because they will go to the other part, to the other field, and they would have always an open three, and they would hit it. So it not matter if I shoot two, if they shoot three, they are always winning. Doesn't matter if I'm always scoring. If they score more, it doesn't matter. And that's what I'm saying is that it's not. And when I was playing handball, I always practice against girls, and it doesn't mean that I was winning. And it's a physical game. So
Yes.
it's not only about being physical; it's about uh, using your brain, and especially it's a chess game. So why not play it? It's like why not using that weakness again on your favor? Why not? I was always
I
using
mean,
my weakness as a receiver. I was always using the weakness of being skinny, and I was always winning because guys will like, "Oh my god, he's so skinny, I'm gonna win," and I'm like, "Okay, come on," and then he will go and like, "Whoops, okay, 3 yards, I'm already free." It's like it's just we use it's how you use it in the game, and I think that's possible, and I think you should make it happen. And I think it's way more reachable than you think. I think you should really make that happening. Even if it's started against woman against under 16 or under 15, just start doing it. And I think it's really reachable. I don't think it's as big of as impossible as you think. And I think both of you guys would grow as hell. You and the other team. Okay,
Awesome.
so
let's do it. Let's
yes.
change the world.
Yes. Well, we
Thank
have
you, Johanna,
like
for
Patrick
doing this.
says, we
I
have to start
appreciate it.
somewhere, right?
Exactly. Do the first step.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Once again, super motivational. Um, man, it's what happens when I'm with you two guys. It's just motivation. Uh,
But hey, thank you for inviting me on, man.
yeah.
Like it was very last minute, but I'm glad I was able to, get
Man,
on here for you
I
guys.
am so happy that you were on it. And the only thing that Mitt was sad for is because he called the girls last program, the girls that play football, sociopath. I always forget sociopaths or psychopaths or what was it? Huh?
You
Who
said
said
that
what?
girls who play football are psychopaths, but I would totally agree on that.
Who said this?
Yeah,
Who said this?
Meat said that. He said, I'm sorry to all the girls, but I even think that
Ah,
they agree with me. And then Johanna said, yes, I completely agree with him. I tell
yeah,
him that I agree with
Like,
him.
as a girl, when you play football and you're passionate about it, like, yeah, like
Yeah,
I can't deny, like, he's right.
yes. Okay, yeah, understandable. To finish up, I don't know if you saw the other podcasts. I normally have a question. Did you see Space Jam, the first one?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Do you know that the monsters steal the powers from the NBA players, right? So if
Yes.
you could steal um, a power from any player in Europe, okay,
I know who it is.
okay, if you could steal any power from a player in Europe, and if you could steal any power from a player in not only a player, it can also be a coach or an assistant coach, whatever you want, and in the NFL.
So NFL is easy.
CM. Let me answer for you. Christian McCaffrey.
Exactly, exactly. I'm a big fan of
Beast.
Christian McCaffrey. I feel
Yes.
like he can do it like blocking, catching, running the ball, obviously. And I think that's the
Fantasy
game is
points.
changing, and that's what you got to do as running back. And I feel like he can do it. So I will go with Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah,
Um,
I understand.
European players, it's tough actually. I haven't think about this.
Yeah, well, that is good. I don't want pre-thought answers. I want, I want the answer that comes to your mind now.
And
Like,
it's me. Like
oh,
I'm
come
gonna go with
on.
me.
Come on. Yes, I understand. Pat also said it was his mom, and I understand that, but it's not a valuable answer. Sorry. I'm I am the one that decides that. Sorry. I know that you are a big machine. Everybody that saw the podcast understands that. But you can steal somebody's powers, okay? Guy or girl, you can even, for example, you can steal Patrick Swag. It doesn't matter.
So
I can't
I'm
even
gonna
decide it.
go. I'm gonna go with Coach Glenn. He was the coach of the guys team in Cologne, and we started practicing together, and we did a lot of extra work together, and he became more like a mentor and a friend to me, and he's always helping me out, doesn't matter what, especially off the field, and I'm gonna go with him because he means a lot to me. He's my supporter, number one, and
It's your father
yeah.
out of the field. No, in the
So
field.
my dad's always gonna be my
Yes, I
dad,
know.
but
You know
football
what I
wise,
meant. Come on. You know what I meant. Don't turn it away. Yeah, but
so
okay, I got it. So the coach Glenn, right? What was the main team? It was the Cologne. I don't know, crocodiles.
the Falcons, Cologne Falcons,
Huh? Cologne what?
Falcons,
I'm not understanding. Cologne what?
the Cologne Falcons.
Okay, I'm not understanding. Doesn't matter.
Like Falcons.
I
Falcons.
Falcons. Oh yeah. Oh true. And did I say your team correct? It's Falconettes, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay. Okay, sorry. Yeah, I saw it because when I was tagging, I recognized there were two of them. Okay, so this is um, this is it, and this is not Michael Jackson's song. This is it. Do you want to give a shout out, Johanna? Do you want to give a shout out?
Yes, yes, for sure. I mean, obviously, Coach Glenn. Shout out to Coach Glenn.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Falconets, to the Nijmegen Pirates. Um, Shout out to you. Appreciate the chance to come on your podcast and talk about my passion and of women in football. Much appreciated. Shout
More
out to
will come.
Pat for joining us
Yeah.
and actually bringing me on the podcast.
Yeah.
um,
More will come.
yeah,
More girls will come to the podcast. I'm planning on it.
that's cool. That's dope. Let's do it.
Yes. And you also already
Uh,
know it because I'm always talking. So, and you, Pat,
cool.
your shout outs.
You know what? Hey, to all the people out there, if you're having a tough day, hey, live to trade another day. Live to, live another day. For everybody else out there that's looking for some motivation, you know, go to Johanna's page. Go to hit me up or hit up any. There's motivation all around you. You just got to find it. All right.
True.
I have. I'm very thankful to be on this podcast, and this was very random, but I appreciate it. And yeah, love you, mom.
Well, if you think about it, it was not that random. You were the one that shout out her name when I asked in the podcast, and you are the one here now talking with her. Well, I want to thank you both for coming over. I'm really happy to do this podcast and to meet Johanna because we have been talking a lot. She's also helping me, and Patrick helps me as fuck in this KSD. Not only in here, but when I'm doing images, he also gives me always his input about the images that I do and what can I do better or what is the worst part, or sometimes it's just something is not right and I understand what he means. So I think I want to give a shout out to both of you and to me that right now is partying hard. We could not be here because he's partying hard. I mean, it's also part of life. And he's young, so I don't blame him. But thank you for both of you for coming over and. We see you. I don't know. We probably will have a small break because of Christmas. But well, if nothing else, we'll see you next year. So bye bye. See ya.
Yeah.